It's the book club for kids.
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 It's the book club for kids podcast.
Hi, I'm Kitty Felde. Did you ever wish that you had a pet elephant? Well, Jordan was lucky enough to find one. That unusual relationship is at the heart of the book Jordan and Marshmallow by Alina Chau.
It's a warm story about friendship, overcoming challenges.
That's one of our readers from Atwater Elementary School in Los Angeles. They discuss sports and disabilities and life in Indonesia. Jordan first meets an injured marshmallow, where you usually meet white elephants, on the playground.
Oh, this must be painful, huh? Don't worry, I will take care of you.
That's our celebrity reader, NPR's All Things Considered host, Ailsa Chang. Our readers ask writer Alina Chau which came first, the story or the elephant?
Actually, the elephant comes first.
This is the Book Club for Kids, the show where kids talk about books. We'll tell you how you can be on the show a little later on, but first, let's meet our readers.
Hello, my name is Henry.
Hello, my name is Hugo.
Hello, my name is Isai.
Hello, my name is Mason.
Hello, my name is Oliver. Hello, my name is Liliana.
Hello, my name is Jasmina. We're all fourth graders at Atwater Elementary in California.
So, the book is called Marshmallow and Jordan. What is it about?
Marshmallow and Jordan is about a girl named Jordan who finds an elephant and names it Marshmallow. They soon become friends.
Marshmallow helps Jordan discover a new sport called water polo.
Kind of towards the end of the story and the mid-story, which barely mentions it, there's a drought, which later becomes a problem.
After there's an announcement about water polo being canceled because of the drought.
Where are we in this book?
They're in Indonesia.
Where is Indonesia? Do you guys know?
Well, I've tracked it on that map right there, which is right behind us. You can't see it because you're just listening to this, so ha-ha. Kind of close to Australia.
And what's it like? How would we describe it to people who've never been there?
A beautiful place, and it's calm and peaceful, except for the drought.
The specific island in Indonesia where the story takes place is called Kitud.
It's a very nice place, very tropical and warm.
Kind of like California or different?
Well, I mean, California's just like, you think it's warm and it's humid, but it's not like, well, yes, it's basically a living desert.
Based on the book, it looks like it doesn't have too much pollution going on there.
How would we describe this book?
It's a warm story about friendship, overcoming challenges.
Athletic dreams.
All right, we've got an athlete in the group, I can tell that. What is your sport?
Volleyball and basketball.
And why do you love it? Why do you love doing sports?
I guess because it's a fun way to pass the time, and I play with my sister.
I like playing baseball because it's just a really fun sport, and it doesn't matter if you win or lose, it's fine.
Now, tell us about Jordan.
She's a girl that loves basketball, but she was in an accident that got her paralyzed.
So what does she do? Does she play basketball?
Well, she used to play basketball, but since she's paralyzed, she now plays water polo.
She uses a wheelchair because she got paralyzed from down the waist and to her feet.
Well, let's hear a little bit from the book, from where Jordan first meets an injured white elephant named Marshmallow. Our celebrity reader is National Public Radio journalist Ailsa Chang.
Who's crying? Oh my, are you alone? Where did you come from? It's okay. Come here, I won't hurt you. Can you show me what happened? Oh, this must be painful, huh? Don't worry, I will take care of you. Can you walk? Okay, stay here. I'll be right back. This might work. Put this under your injured leg. Now, try putting your weight on your right leg and wheel around like me. You're so welcome. My mom is a vet. I'm sure she can fix your leg. You can stay with us. We'll have so much fun together. I made a new friend today, and it's an elephant.
Have you guys ever thought about what it would be like to have some kind of a physical handicap, like Not being able to walk, not being able to talk, not be able to hear, something like that?
I think it would be really tough because all these things that we are doing right now involves one of those. And if we don't have one of those, we can't communicate, we can't talk, we can't do much.
Would this story have been different if Jordan wasn't in a wheelchair?
Yes, it was, because she could have moved around with her legs easier, and she wouldn't have gone to water polo, and I don't think she would have met Marshmallow.
She would have not discovered a new passion and new friendships.
Jordan was not paralyzed. She wouldn't have played water polo. She probably would have met Marshmallow, in my opinion, because Marshmallow doesn't have to do anything with being paralyzed. She just found him crying on the playground.
Let's talk about the style of this, because there aren't a lot of books that suddenly you open it up and a white elephant shows up.
How would I describe this book? It's difficult to give it just like a direct description, but I would say it has rich Indonesian culture in it, like the Hindu god Ganesh, the Lord of Obstacles, is featured in this book. There's incense, offering flowers. Also, it's a book of friendship and trust.
Well, when you say those Indian gods and things like that, would we say it's like has mythology in it?
No, not really. It mentions them. It's basically about a story of perseverance and finding new passions with disabilities or something that can stop you.
So this is a book with a lot of pictures in it. Would you describe it as a graphic novel? Does it remind you of other graphic novels? Is it different in any way?
I would say it's basically a graphic novel because it doesn't say Jordan said or like Marshmallow said.
So you guys mentioned that there's that theme of drought that keeps coming up in this book. Do you guys relate to that? Because we live in Southern California.
Lately, a drought has been going on, so yeah, I could relate to that.
Actually, I know a lot about this because I did a project.
I could relate to that because, like, for example, like, if I'm taking a shower, they're like, turn the shower water off, don't waste it. And if I'm, like, using the sink, turn the sink off.
So you guys liked the book? Didn't like the book? What do you think?
I think it was a good book because it was about friendship and making new friends, like Marshmallow and her water polo teammates.
It could be a big lesson for people who are reading it.
I'd say, yeah, it's really good. It teaches you to accept new things.
I like the book because it kind of has a good theme of like finding new passions and not really giving up.
Do you guys have some questions for our writer?
Why did you choose to make this book, and is this like based on a true story? Is this your story?
First, it's not a true story, it's fiction. I wish it's a true story that I will have a little magical elephant, but it's not true. One of the main reasons I want to make the book is I want to share the Indonesian Chinese part of my cultural heritage and story with readers. Because even when I grew up in Asia, the Southeast Asian culture is tend to be underrepresented voice. And when I was growing up in Hong Kong, which is a Chinese community, British Chinese community, and a lot of kids doesn't even understand what am I because you look Chinese, but you're not quite Chinese, so we're a little bit off. So it has been always that conversation, try to introduce culture that may not be as familiar with other people, but it's still very beautiful with rich history and story and color. So that's one of my motivation. And other reason is I always love fantasy. I love world mythology. So it also just get inspired by that part of my love with mythology. That's why the story is loosely inspired by Hindu mythology, which also kind of tied to my heritage as well.
Why did you add an elephant instead of any other animal?
Actually, the elephant comes first before I even have the story. And before I even come up with Marshmallow and Jordan's story, I don't know, just for a long time after this story, I want to write a story about the two ringed elephant. It started as a picture book idea. It's kind of a period fantasy, but when I pitched it to the story, most of the response is, I think it's a bigger story. Can you make it more contemporary and relatable? That it slowly evolved into a middle grade graphic novel and become Marshmallow and Jordan. But the elephant character, it always exists. It's the first thing that exists before I even have the story. And the funny thing is, after I made Marshmallow and Jordan, and recently I start tidy up the house, organize my old files, I realized, I guess on the subconscious level, I've been drawing little elephant playing with a little girls and kids for many, many years. And I never even put the two together. I guess it's just something in my subconscious. I always like little elephant that can talk to people.
Are you interested in the sports that are in the book, like basketball and water polo? Because I don't know, like you could have chose any sport.
Actually, I love sport, but I'm bad at them. I'm bad. So I cannot play any sport that need hand-eye coordination. I'm terrible with any like basketball, volleyball, any ball sport. I just can never hit the ball. But I love participating in them, even though I'm bad at it. It's just playing with a bunch of other people, with friends, is really fun. I cannot play water polo. I never play water polo, but I love swimming. Swimming is my favorite sport. So actually in summer, I will swim every day. That's my main exercise. So I do love swimming. And the reason I choose basketball and water polo for the book is because I feel like that is the more accessible sport for Jordan. First is I need sport that is something that more people can enjoy on a universal level. And also it has to be two sport that has certain skill and technique that can cross over in some way. So that's why I choose basketball and water polo, because I feel like it's a skill that both skill Jordan already have, and she need a transition from one sport to the other. And it's not that she doesn't know swimming, she just haven't really take swimming seriously since she become disabled. So I feel like it has to be a sport that makes sense for Jordan, and she can smoothly transition over and be good at it.
I'm going to ask the hardest question now. Yes, this is the hardest question. And that is, what is your favorite book and why?
It's a series called One Piece because it's a manga and it has a lot of adventure and it's about pirates.
And manga is basically a Japanese graphic novel, and you read it backwards. It's kind of like a comic too.
And is that your favorite book too?
Yeah.
I like The Wild Robot because it's kind of like an adventure story, I guess.
And The Wild Robot is one of our Book Club for Kids podcast episodes, and we will have a link in the show notes and at the website, bookclubforkids.org. All right, favorite book?
Kind of like Dogman and Captain Underpants. I like the potty humor and all of that.
There's a series by Stuart Gibbs called A Funjungle novel. I really like those books. They're mysteries.
And Stuart Gibbs, we talk about a different series of his called Spy Kids, and we will put a link to that in the website and in the show notes as well. We love Stuart Gibbs.
There's a book called Trickster. It's a whole bunch of Native American stories. There's also this book that I've showed to this class a few times, Dirty Rotten Bugs. Does everybody remember that? Or did some of you?
Yes.
Okay, it's about teaching you about these bugs, but it has some funny parts and doesn't have some funny parts, and it has some kind of scary parts, like how mosquitoes can carry a deadly disease, and the crane fly, who just does nothing, kills our mosquitoes. I don't know, it's really interesting.
I think it's really hard to choose, so I'm going to name my top 3. There's Dogman, Jujutsu, Kaizen, and Amulet.
And Amulet is one of our Book Club for Kids podcast episodes, and we'll have a link to that at the website, bookclubforkids.org.
By the way,
Wait a minute, you all like Amulet, yeah?
yeah. I'm on book 8, by the way. Wow. There's a Wings of Fire book. There's tons and tons of different ones. It's like 17. And there's one called Legends Darkstalker, and that's probably my favorite one because it's basically, they mention the character a lot in the book, and they make a book about him. It has details. It explains everything you'd think it explained and more. Also, I like Percy Jackson book 4 because basically I like Greek mythology. There's tons of different characters, and at the end there's this big battle, and they have to go and
So it's basically you like the adventure.
Yeah, I love the adventure.
Got a favorite book, Alina Chau?
I love the whole Winnie the Pooh series. That's why my dog is named after Piglet. It's just there's something very charming about it. It's the innocent childhood, and there's also it dives into a magical world. But even though it's a magical fantasy world, you can still relate so much in that universe because it's very much a metaphor of growing up. They're all cute, fluffy animals, but they talk a lot about stuff that is actually difficult conversation, but in a very gentle way. And also like growing up and the separation, you have to leave a comfortable home and all that. I guess to me is very relatable and it's timeless.
What about you, Ailsa Chang? What's your favorite book?
The name of my favorite book is a book called When Love is More Than Words. It's a book by Jocelyn Chung. She's a Taiwanese author who I met when I was in Taiwan reporting on stories with our team here at NPR. And this is an illustrated book. It's about how, even though members of her family don't always say, I love you in words every single day, they show in their own unique and special ways how much they love her. Like there's a picture of her grandfather making fun cardboard toys with her, and that's how he shows he loves her. And then there's pictures of her grandmother who always cooks her favorite foods and makes sure she always has something to eat that she loves, and that's how her grandmother shows that she loves her. Anyway, I just love this book because it carries that very important message that even people who don't always say they love you in words, there are so many ways that they can show you that love with action.
We'll have a list of everybody's favorite book at our website, bookclubforkids.org. And you can be on a future Book Club for Kids podcast, too. Just have your teacher, parent, or librarian send us an email to kitty@bookclubforkids.org, and we will send you all the information. That's kitty@bookclubforkids.org. Thanks this week to producer Chad Francis. Brandon Baker composed our theme with additional music from Andrew Walton. Emma Steinkeller designed our logo. Thanks to our writer, Alina Chau, and our celebrity reader, NPR journalist, Ailsa Chang. And thanks to our readers this week, Henry, Hugo, Isai, Mason, Oliver, Liliana, and Jasmina, and their teacher, Joe Rodriguez, at Atwater Elementary School in Los Angeles. This episode is made possible by a grant from the LA Department of Arts and Culture as a part of Creative Recovery in LA, an initiative funded by the American Rescue Plan. Thank you. We have a free newsletter for teachers, parents, and librarians full of free tips about how to turn kids into lifelong readers. You can sign up at our website, bookclubforkids.org. And if you want to find a way to talk to your kids about American democracy, check out our other podcast, The Fina Mendoza Mysteries. It's an episodic show that follows the adventures of the 10-year-old daughter of a congressman who solves mysteries inside the U.S. Capitol. There are teacher's guides, companion books, and a Facts Behind the Fictions blog. You can find out more at the website, chesapeakepress.org. That's the Fina Mendoza Mysteries, winner of the 2024 Latino Book Award. I'm Kitty Felde. Thanks so much for listening.